Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel Arginding, and today I'll be presenting an overview of loops in Java. Loops are fundamental in programming because they allow us to execute a block of code multiple times efficiently. Instead of writing repetitive code, loops help automate repetitive tasks. In Java, we have three main types of loop, which is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Now, let's discuss each one of them with their syntax, and example program. And now, first, let's do the for loops. Now, let's get some file, name it for loops, loop.java. Enter. Now, generate the code. Okay. For loop. The function of for loop is the for loop is used when we know in advance how many times you want to execute a block of code. It has a counter or iterator that is updated with each iteration. And now let's do the the basic syntax, which is wait, let me do the one first. Public static main string base words. Okay. The syntax of for loops is first the initialization for, then second the condition, which is to determine how long the loop will continue. And lastly, update the increments or decrements the counter. Okay, now let's do some sample program. For I equals 1, then semicolon I, then less than and equals less than equal space 5, then semicolon, then I plus plus. Okay, next, then then enter. Let's go to system dot out dot print here print ln, then parentheses, then exclamation mark, number nope. Number, then space plus, then I, then lastly exclamation mark, then okay. Now let's test this code. Okay, let me explain first. In I, which is this, initialize the counter. Then the I less than equals 5, check the condition or the loop continue while true. And I plus plus explain increases by I by 1 each iteration, and the loops print number 1 to 5 in the console. Now, let's run it. Then Well, okay, waiting. Waiting. Bam. That's our that's its output, which is from 1 to 5. The number outcome is continue from 1 to 5. And now, let's do the while loop. Okay. Plus file. Then, let's rename while loop. Java. Enter. Okay. While loop, then public. Static. And void main. String. Args. Argument. Then enter. And while loop, the function of while loop is the while loop execute a block of code repeatedly as long as the condition is true. It is useful when we don't know the exact number of iteration in advance. The syntax is while, then the condition. Now, let's do the sample program. In while loop, let's make this some space, then in I equals 1. Then let's go to this. Then I equals less than, then equals, I put equals 5. Then raise. Enter. Now lastly, system dot out dot print ln, then parentheses, then mark, then number. Okay, number, then space, plus, plus I, then mark, then space, I, plus, plus, then mark. And now, this is all the sample program of while loop. Now, let me explain. Int1 equals 1, initialize the counter outside the loop. While, parentheses, and I less than equal 5, in parentheses, keeps running the loop until I is greater than 5. Then, the I plus plus explain ensure the loop eventually stops. Now, let's do some and let's run. and bam, that's the output. What if we do this to 10? Then run. This way, and bam. Whenever you enter some Whenever you enter an I, this is greater than I, which is 5, 10, or greater than, it will be, it's non-stop to count until it's fulfill its outputs to call out. Prints number 1 to 5, just like the for loop, but the structure is slightly different. And for the next program is the do while loop. First, let me create some file, name it do while loop dot java, then enter. Then on do while loop is a do while loop, but it guarantees that the code run at least once, even if the condition is false. The function is, it runs the code first, then checks the condition afterward. The basic syntax is do, braces, and the code to execute, and brace, while, and the condition. Now, let's do the sample program. Int I equals 1, then semicolon, then enter, then do, space, then brace, then enter, then system dot out me dot out dot print ln, then parentheses, punctuation mark, then value, and outside plus I, and outside is semicolon, enter I plus plus, then semicolon, plus plus, semicolon, then enter, nope, then while parentheses I less than and equal 5, parentheses, and semicolon. Then check for error, run, then run. As you can see, the output of the while loop starting count from 1 to 5. It runs the code first, but then checks the condition afterward. This code at least once if the condition is false. It runs. Thank you. Then, oh, yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.